Hey everyone, welcome back to our Countdown to Ice Off series. This will be our second to last video for the year in our series, and I hope you enjoyed it so far. Tonight we're going to be tying up some glassworms on some Alec Jackson's Chronomid trout fly hooks in size 13 in the crystal finish. They claim they're virtually invisible in the water. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what they claim. So anyway, I'll get started right away by tying some air sacs of the glassworm in some black UTC 70. So we're not doing a lot of wraps, so I tend to try and crisscross the end that's coming out my bobbin with the tag end a bunch of times, just so that it secures that all down. Otherwise it just wants to slip right off that hook. And we'll give that a quick trim. And now we'll just do a couple little whip finishes here. And that simulates the air sac. There's two of them on each glassworm. Sometimes they're black, sometimes they're a brownish color or whatnot, but we're gonna do black for this one. So both of the air sacs are usually inset just a little bit from both ends of the fly. So I'm just doing a few wraps, going underneath the tag, try and crisscross it so it stays put. And I can trim that now. Oops. The UTC 70 lays nice and flat, but sometimes you can see it splitting on me, and I'm trying to keep this thin at the moment, so it's kind of not working in my favor. There we go. Very small hook, it's hard to keep those nice and small. So you can even take your fingernails or something and try and push the thread together to shorten the air sacs up. So I've got those tied in now, and the next part of this is, where's the package? We're using some micro liquid lace in light olive. Very similar product is Wapsi's stretch tubing, comes in all sorts of colors. So I'm going to take the light olive liquid lace and I'm going to slip it through the eyelet, very small, got it through there, and we're just going to tie a very simple knot and pull that tight. Now what you can do is very gently pull on the one end, and it shortens the opposite, this side here, just to minimize your waste. And once you got it where it's about a 1/4 inch or just something you can hold on to, you can pull tight from both ends. We're just trying to minimize as much waste as possible. This stuff's quite expensive actually for the little tiny package you get, so I'd rather not waste as much as I can. So now that we've pulled tight from both directions, it's somewhat secure, not very secure, so don't pull too tight. But now we can wrap backwards, and we're gonna wrap back. Really watch for your tubing to want to skip a jump at the thread, because it will tend to do that. It just tried. And we'll just keep on going all the way to the back. And watch again at the thread that it doesn't skip a jump, because it does want to, because we've built up those little balls and it wants to just slip right off of them. Sometimes if you pull a little bit tighter, it'll prevent that. Even if it does a little, I don't think the fish are going to notice that much. So we're going to go right down quite a ways on this hook, because some of it is going to sneak back on us later on. So I'm going to pull very tight and secure that back into the spring on the back of my vise. And now we're going to tie in some not extra small, we're going to tie in some small silver ultra wire, and I'll just pull some of that out, secure it with the little lid. Now I'm going to take that wire and I don't want to waste too much of this, so kind of measure out what you're gonna need and go down below where you left off. Actually, I'm gonna need a little bit more. Down below where you left off and do about 3 wraps. So 1, and pull nice and tight if you can. 2, 3, and now we're gonna wrap forward, counter wrap. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3 at the front. Pull real tight. Sometimes it might help, take your hackle pliers and just wrap it onto the hackle pliers and just pull real tight so it cinches right in there. And we're just gonna trim that wire off nice and tight to the hook. So now we can pull real tight on the stretch tubing and give it a snip, and it's gonna bounce back past our knot. And sometimes, most of the time, there it is, that stretch tubing will leave a little tag right through the eyelet, and you can just trim that out, but I don't think it's gonna do it to me this time. Oh, there's a little bit of one, and actually it's so small this time I could probably just melt it. Be very careful. If you melt it too much, it'll all want to unravel inside the wire. So now I can tip my hook forward, and I'm going to get at the back of the wire, pulling real tight, and now try and get in as close as I can. These clippers. There we go. If anything's pushing out, you can bend it back down with your nail. So you stand this back up again. And now for this part, don't pull too tight, because if you pull too tight, it will want to sneak past the wire and it'll all come undone on you. So just pull nice and gently, give it a little bit of tension, and cut it right there. So very small little pattern. So they can be hard to tie. I like tying them on, what do I got? I got a bunch of sizes here. It's Alec Jackson's size 11, basically like a size 12. They're a lot bigger and a lot easier to tie, but it doesn't take too long. I've been blabbing the whole video, so if I'm not talking, I can usually pound one out in a couple of minutes. So inside an hour you could do a lot of these. I've been tying them in the light olive. It's not perfectly clear. A lot of the guys who know better than I would say that slightly colored patterns actually work better when imitating the Chaoborus Larva. So anyway, there it is. So hope you liked the video. I probably could have slid the air sac back on both of these a little bit. I probably didn't space them quite the way I would have liked, but close enough. So thanks for watching, and we got one more video, and the lakes they're all coming together, so we should all be out fishing in no time. I know some guys have already begun on a couple of the very low elevation lakes. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button, and cheers and tight lines.